So you're thinking about coming to Canada on a working holiday visa. That's awesome! Canada is one of the most beautiful countries in the whole world. But after getting working holiday visas for Australia, New Zealand, and now Canada, I can safely say that the Canadian one is by far the most complicated. You need so many official documents, there are deadlines, and many confusing steps that can easily trip you up. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the entire process, from checking whether you're eligible, all the way to receiving your work permit at the Canadian border, so you know exactly what to expect. To see whether you're eligible for a working holiday visa, you need to check the following boxes. Number 1, be from one of the following countries and be within the age range shown on screen. Number 2, have a valid passport. Number 3, have proper health insurance. And number 4, have enough money to sustain yourself in Canada. And don't worry, we'll touch on those last two again later in the video. If you meet those requirements, it's time to create your IEC profile. Go to the official Canadian immigration website, shown on screen here. Start an IEC working holiday profile. Fill in your personal information and submit your profile. Once you've submitted your profile, you've completed the first real step. But you haven't applied for the visa yet. So once you've submitted your profile, you get added to a pool of candidates. Basically a group with all the other applicants from your country. Each week, starting sometime in January, Canada will randomly select a portion of candidates in the pool and send them an invitation to apply. If you are not selected, you simply stay in the pool and hope you get selected next time. More on that in a second. Every country has a limited amount of working holiday spots each year. This is known as the country's quota. For example, I am from the Netherlands, and this year our quota is 480. But as you can see here, more than 480 invitations have been sent out. That's because people will decline their invitation, decide not to come to Canada, or simply miss one of the application's deadlines. On the official IEC website, you can see exactly how many spots are available, how many invitations have already been sent, and how many people are still sitting in the pool waiting for an invitation. While you're waiting in the pool, this is the perfect time to start collecting your supporting documents. We'll talk more about exactly what you'll need later in the video. So like I said, Canada will randomly select a portion of candidates in the pool and send them an invitation to apply. You'll get an email notification saying that you've been invited. Simply just log on to your profile and click Accept the invitation. Again, receiving an invitation to apply does not mean you have got the visa. It is simply Canada inviting you to officially apply for the working holiday visa. From this point, you have a 20-day deadline to upload all of your supporting documents, which hopefully you've collected while you were waiting for an invitation in the pool. You're going to need to send Canada a lot of proof about who you are and that you're a good person. Depending on what country you're from, which supporting documents you need to provide can vary, but for me, they were the following. A police certificate from every country I had lived in for 6 consecutive months or more since I turned 18. So for me, I needed a police certificate from Australia, New Zealand, and the Netherlands. Gathering these takes time and costs money, so it's best to collect them when there's no deadlines yet. I also needed to upload a resume, a copy of my passport, a digital photo, a form with information about my family, and another form stating every country I had visited and for how long since I had turned 18. Depending on where you're from or where you've lived, you might also have to provide a medical exam. Now, most people won't need one, but just double check this website to see if you do. Your driving history is another one that you may or may not need depending on where you've lived. So again, hopefully you've already gathered most, if not all of these documents while you were waiting in the pool, because if not, those 20 days can disappear pretty quickly. Okay, so now it's time to pay some fees. The IEC fee is 184 Canadian dollars and 75 cents. There's a biometrics fee of 85 Canadian dollars, and then there's an open work permit fee, which is another 100 Canadian dollars. So that's a total of 369 Canadian dollars and 75 cents. Once you've successfully uploaded all your supporting documents and paid all of the fees, you'll receive a biometrics instruction letter. Before you enter Canada, you'll need to have your fingerprints scanned and a headshot taken. Go to this website to see where the nearest office to you is. Please bring your passport and a physical copy of your biometrics instruction letter to the appointment. The appointment itself won't take more than 5 to 10 minutes, which can be a little bit underwhelming, especially if you had to travel from far for it. For example, I have a friend from New Zealand. He lives in Christchurch, but in New Zealand, the only office that'll take your fingerprints is all the way in Auckland. So he had to buy return tickets for hundreds of dollars just to be done with this appointment within like 5 minutes. Sometimes Canada may request additional information before they make their final decision. This could be an additional police certificate, a medical request, or any missing documents. For example, I had to provide my driving history from Victoria, Australia, because on my travel form, I had stated that I had lived in Victoria for over 6 months. This document actually caused me to almost miss my deadline and completely miss out on my working holiday visa. Just make sure you upload any additional documents before the deadline they give you. If everything is in order, you'll get approved and receive your port of entry letter. Note that this is again not your visa. You have 1 year from receiving this letter to enter Canada and activate your working holiday visa. After that, it will expire. Now it's time to prepare for your arrival. Okay, so here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna get yourself a nice big binder, just like this one, and you're gonna get physical copies of, obviously, your passport. You're gonna get a physical copy of your health insurance, which is this one here, health insurance. You're gonna get a bank statement stating that you have more than 2,500 Canadian dollars in your bank account. You're gonna bring a physical copy of your port of entry letter. This is extremely important. It needs to be a physical copy. You might need a return ticket or proof that you have enough funds to buy a return ticket, and any additional supporting documents. Like, for example, I brought our rental agreement with me as well. Okay, so let's talk about health insurance really quickly, because Canada requires you to have health insurance that covers your entire intended stay in Canada. So if you intend to stay in Canada from June 1st, 2026 to June 1st, 2027, you better be covered for that entire time. Because if you're only covered for 10 months, you're only going to get a visa for 10 months instead of your full 12 months, which would be extremely unfortunate. The easiest way to get your health insurance sorted is to just go to this website, just put in exactly what you need, and they'll spit out the best quote, pun intended, for you. You are now ready to enter Canada. Bring your big binder with all your supporting documents to the immigration office, and then finally, if everything is all right, they will give you this document. This is your official working holiday visa Just make sure they spelled your name correctly and that the the expiry date is correct as well. So this was my experience at the immigration office at the Vancouver airport. It was kind of strange. So they literally just asked me for my passport and my port of entry letter. And like I said, I rocked up with this whole big binder full of all these supporting documents. But they only asked me for my passport and my port of entry letter. They told me to go and sit down, and 10 minutes later, she called my name and she literally just gave me my visa. Here you go. Here's your visa. All good. Just check if everything is okay. And so she didn't need any of the supporting documents that I had prepared, which I thought was a little bit strange. But just in case, make sure that you have everything in order, because if you do need to show it and you don't have it, then they won't give you your working holiday visa. So just in case, have everything in order. So that is the entire process of getting your Canadian working holiday visa, all the way from creating your IEC profile to receiving your work permit at the Canadian border. We have now been living in Canada for just about 2 months, and honestly, getting the working holiday visa was just the beginning. So if you'd like to see a complete guide on everything that you should do in your first week here in Canada, that's the video we're working on next. If it's already out, it'll be right here for you to click on. If this guide helped you out, I would really appreciate a like and a subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck with your application, and I'll see you next time.